Have you been dreaming about changing your life or growing your business for the last year, the last 2 years, the last 5 years? Well, today I want to talk to you about the brutal truth about why you have not grown your business yet and you have not changed your life. This is a tough one, but you should buckle in. It's going to be a wild ride. Let's get started. All right, well, as always, welcome back to the channel. I'm so grateful for your time and your attention. And today I want to talk to you about the brutal truth about why your life is not changing, even though you want it to change. Our lives don't change because we want them to change. Our lives change because we put action behind changing them. And most of us don't put action behind changing our life because we're fearful. I've talked about this in other videos, but the number one thing that most people struggle with is fear of change and fear of failure. You might look at your life right now and you're working a full-time job and you want to transition into woodworking full-time, but you're afraid of losing the security of your job. Maybe you have a family and you have kids and you have a mortgage, and the sense of financial security that comes from your day job is just something that you're terrified to lose, right? I get it. I've been there. Maybe you want to try to grow your woodworking business, but what if you fail? And the feeling of failure or the fear of failure just is debilitating. It keeps you exactly where you're at. I want to just lay out some points for you today in this video that'll hopefully challenge you, but also inspire you and move you to action. And so number one, the first thing I want to just say is that everything is risky. We have this illusion that there are things in our life that are not risky. Listen, I could stand up from this table and walk across the room and trip and fall and knock my head and die in a moment. What are the odds of it? The odds are pretty low, but it's a risk. It's a risk to get out and drive your car every day. People die every single year in car accidents, but you take that risk every day and you don't feel like it's that dangerous. There are things that are extremely dangerous that don't feel risky, and there are things that feel really risky that aren't that dangerous. When you go get in your car, for example, you don't get in your car afraid every single time that you drive, but the truth is that's one of the riskiest things that you could do. And so we have to accurately judge, like, the steps that I'm trying to take in my life or the things I'm trying to change. What is the actual risk level and what are the greatest dangers that it poses? For most of you out there that want to transition into full-time woodworking or your own handmade business, you have a great job now. You're a skilled individual. You could quit your job, try this, and if it doesn't work out, guess what you could do? You could go get another job. Now, some of you might have really awesome jobs that pay incredible amounts of money that would be hard to find again, but for most people, you're probably making between $40,000 and $100,000 a year, probably pretty skilled, and you could probably go find that again if you needed to. So let's play worst case scenario out in our mind. You quit, you try this thing, and it fails. You don't make any money, you can't provide for your family, you go to a couple job interviews and you get another job. And you keep your business alive on the side and you slowly grow it over time. Because guess what? That's what your boy did. That's exactly what I did. I took the leap, took the risk, starting my own business, and I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. I didn't know how to run a business. I thought just because I was good at building stuff that I would be good at running a business, and that is not the truth. And that's one of the things that will slap you upside the head if you don't have some business principles, which is why I make this content and run this channel. Okay, so the second thing that you just need to know, the reason that you haven't changed is because you're afraid of change. You're afraid of the unknown, because with change comes things that you can't predict, you can't anticipate. For most people, that is just such a hindrance to the way that they think and the way that they live that they just can't handle it. Owning businesses is not for everybody. It is hard. There are high highs and super low lows. I've experienced this over the past 5 years hundreds of times, and it's really crazy because as I'm taking all my Woodworking Business Accelerator clients through scaling their business, they're experiencing those same things. They're experiencing all the lessons and all the things that they're having to learn along the way. Now, we try to mitigate and minimize all the lows as much as we can, but there's still things that happen, right? There's still challenges that you face where an important employee quits, or maybe you complete a project and the customer doesn't like it and they want a refund. Like, there's certain things that we all are going to face along the way. But the reality is change is going to come whether you like it or not. And so if you're afraid of change, typically what happens is that you push change off until change is inevitable. Okay, number 3, the brutal truth about why you haven't grown your business or changed your life yet is that you're fearful about the money. You're fearful about the money. You're afraid that you're not going to have what you need. And this fear of lack is something that has just been deep-seated in people for thousands and thousands of years. If you've been following my content for any amount of time at all, you know that I'm a Christian. I believe in God, I believe in the Lord, and I trust Him. I trust Him with my family, I trust Him with my life, and I trust Him with my finances. And so if you're watching this and you're a Christian, God has you covered. I've been through some of the highest highs and the lowest lows, and I've never not had what I needed when I needed it. Now, have I always had what I wanted? No, but I've always been provided for. I've always been taken care of. And the thing that you have to remember too is that your job, Your employer is not your provider. God is your provider. He's the one that makes things come to pass, okay? Here's the fourth thing that's keeping you stuck, that's keeping you where you are, and it's that you feel like you don't know everything that you need to know. And let me just confirm that. You don't. You don't know everything that you need to know, but here's where you go wrong. You think that you need to just learn more before you can start. There's some things that you cannot learn before you start. This is one of the biggest challenges that my wife and I faced when I started my business. It wasn't a challenge. It was just an observation, I guess, that we were having. I didn't know what I was doing. And I remember, I'll never forget, she told me, you should have known more before you started this. And there probably was some truth to that. But then on the backside of it, there are certain things about running a business, about managing employees, about marketing, about sales that you literally just can't learn just from reading books. You can't learn from just watching YouTube videos. You're only going to learn it from going out there and taking action. And guess what? Those lessons are going to stick so much stronger and so much better than this YouTube video will. You experiencing it yourself is going to stick and stay with you on such a greater level than me talking to you, okay? You feel like you don't have enough knowledge, and the truth is that you don't, but you think you have to learn it all before you start. That is the great lie. You can't learn it all before you start. You're only going to learn a lot of it by starting, okay? Number 5, you won't treat your business like a business. And so many people that are in that beginning phase of their woodworking business, they treat it like a hobby, and it won't grow like that. You can't treat things like a hobby and expect it to become a full-blown business. You have to take yourself seriously and your business seriously before anybody else does. And so you have to lead the way on that. And so that comes from getting organized, from getting structured, from setting regimens, setting schedules, and doing things according to the plan, working the plan. But you have to have a plan first. Those are 5 ways or 5 things that are keeping you from growing and changing your life. It's mostly being afraid. It's thinking that you don't have enough knowledge, you don't have enough resources, you don't have what you need to do what you want to do. And part of that is true, but it's not going to change without taking action. I talk to people every single day on the phone. I take a couple calls a day with a lot of you guys that follow this channel or people that find me on social media, and we'll get down to where it's time to take action. And I get, well, I need to think about it. Well, you have been thinking about it. That's why you're on the call with me, right? You want to, but you're still afraid. You're letting fear take control. Fearful people, that's like a character trait of theirs, that everything that they do and they think about it runs through that filter of fear. Very rarely do they make the impact in the world that they want to make, or make the kind of money that they want to make, or build the kind of business that they want to make. As John Wayne would say, courage is not being afraid, it's saddling up and riding into that fear. Courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means that in spite of your fear, you take action. Grant Cardone, one of my favorite things that he says is that it doesn't take money to make money, it takes courage to make money. It takes courage to start a business. It takes courage to go walk into places and shake hands and make phone calls and give out quotes. It takes courage to make money. So with that being said, if you're ready to change your life, I've got one free resource for you, and I've got a couple other resources that can help you. If you're just getting started out in your handmade or your woodworking journey, you're gonna wanna click the link below in the description to go check out my free book. It's only like 90 pages long, and it's gonna help you. It's gonna give you the business principles that you need to get started on the right path. If you've done that and you're ready to go to the next level, the next thing I have for you is our Handmade Hero Academy program. And it starts out at like $47 a month with a money back guarantee, okay? Super easy way to get in and start getting some traction with the business principles that you need. Lastly, if you're currently doing $3,000 to $5,000 per month or more, and you want to take your business and you're a woodworking business owner, you want to scale that on a major level, click below and apply for the Woodworking Business Accelerator. Right now, I think we've got 12 or 13 people inside of that program, and we're helping them scale their woodworking businesses all across the United States and Canada as well. If you have not subscribed, be sure to subscribe up here and down here, or leave me a comment and let me know how this video helped you. I'm gonna wrap it up. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.